Om Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagatgurum. So while discussing about the inevitability of our not doing action, inability, that we are not able to renounce the action. Even you cannot survive physically if you do not do any activity. Not from physical point of view, but this is from philosophical point of view, that the action or the karma which we do is actually the medium for the purification of the mind. But because of our attachment with the result of the action or the fruits of the action, that same karma which was supposed to purify our mind becomes a cause of bondage. Little in finer details, if you see, every action has some result. Good or bad, good action, bad action. But action itself is neither good nor bad. It is how you do, for what you do, makes the difference. Many times we give examples that apparently the same action, but the result is very different, or rather just opposite to each other, but action is same, because the purpose was different, the objective was different. We took this example. If out of anger one person kills another person, so that becomes a punishable act. But when the soldier kills the enemy army, people give him medal. Killing is the same. There are not two types of killing. Because of your action, other person dies. How then you can explain the result of the action? So when we say karma generally, if you do not philosophically think, whatever you do, physically you do is karma. Actually, no. Karma happens in your mind. The purpose for which you do, the desire comes in your mind. And then it is endorsed by the buddhi, intellect. And then you order your limbs to do the work. You saw an object, only the eyes have seen it. But eyes pass this message about the existence of the object to the mind. Mind started working on that. Good, bad, I like, I dislike, whatever. And accordingly, the actions, rather the senses of actions, karmendriya, starts working. We had discussed earlier, we have 5 senses of knowledge, jnanendriya, and we have 5 senses of action, karmendriya. Jnanendriya, or the senses of knowledge, eyes, ears, touching, skin, or smelling, etc. We gather the knowledge of this objective world. Then here is the brain. There all the information comes. The sound also comes, the picture also comes, The smell also comes, the touch also comes. And that multifaceted knowledge getting processed in our brain, processed in our mind. It's like a CPU. It is processed there. And then you, who considered himself or herself as this body-mind complex, thinks which object to accept, which object to renounce, how to behave with that object. So then you order your karmendriya, your hands, your feet, they all go and do work accordingly. This processing of the information which our five senses will gather, here in this processing, your contribution comes here. That you decide, not every time you see the object you react the same. That means you are reacting for the same object differently. And that is because of your desires. Many times we say this, all these things are cosmic truths. Cosmic truth means truth which prevails in this world. If you are a family of, say, 4 people, parents and 2 children, for example, it is your family, nobody denies that. But what actually is, these 4 individuals have come to this world to fulfill their desires, to work out their prarabdha or karma and progress in the life. There is something commonality, so you happen to be together. And if you see, all the 4, you are not together throughout the life. Maybe up to age of 20, 22, you do not know who is your spouse. Then he or she comes in your life. After 40, 50, 60, 70 years, slowly, you go away from this objective apparent world. Or children comes into picture, stays for a few years with you, flies away to live their life. Many times say, we never thought like this, how he did like this. You have given what you wanted to give to them as part of your values. But we forget that he or she, who is your child, has come to this world to fulfill his or her own prarabdha, his or her own set of desires. And that they are going to do it. Yours is to guide them. But when you guide, we become attached to them. And then you get pain, then you get all kind of difficulties and problems. So always it is said, love is fine, concern is fine, dedication is fine, sacrificing everything for each other is fine, but all these things have to be done with detachment. Why detachment? They are my own people. Why I should not be attached? You know, there are people do not know Sanskrit, so they just pass the whole situation. We in Hinduism has different kinds of ceremonies and karma. Sometimes we call it dasha karma. Starts from your conceiving the child or the birth of the child, then the sacred thread, then the marriage, then going to school, and eventually all of the rituals till the last ritual of death. Or after death also there are some rituals. So this, why it is so? And everything when it is stored, unfortunately the mantras are in Sanskrit. So you say, okay, Panditji, you repeat the mantra, okay, we finish somehow. If you tell the Panditji to explain you in English or your mother tongue, your total outlook will change of life. I give you a simple example. We know little Sanskrit. I'm not a Sanskrit scholar, but I do understand Sanskrit. So when we take sannyasa, there is a system that we do all the after death rituals for ourselves called Atma Shraddha. We do our Shraddha. So what happens? If I do my Shraddha, what about my parents? After becoming monk, I can't do that. So you are supposed to do Shraddha of your parents also, though they are alive. These are rituals are there. So what is the thing? Either both of your parents are there, either both your parents are not there, either only father is alive or only mother is alive. So our group of those who are taking sannyasa were divided into these four. And then accordingly the mantras. And the mantras were being recited. I looked around and saw many of the novices, brahmacharis who are taking sannyasa, many of them I could see tears in their eyes while doing Shraddha because they understand the meaning. Say your mother passed away and you are doing Shraddha. The priest will tell something and you put the rice bowls and whatever he says you do, but you don't understand what he says. You tell him, can you please, same thing, you repeat Sanskrit mantra, then you just tell a simple English, not lecture, just a simple translation. Then will you understand what you are doing? For example, we have a ceremony called Pindadana. You make the rice bowls and offer. Whom you are offering? You are offering to Lord Vishnu. That so and so has passed away. This in their name I am offering. So you please convey. It is not the rice to be conveyed, but it is your love, your respect, your feelings for them. But when the mantras were recited, it is so astonishing the meaning of the mantras. So I told, okay, you will be giving 7 rice bowls, 7 pindas in the name of your mother. Okay, take one, took one. I am telling in English. This pinda, this rice bowl, I am giving for that mother who kept me in her womb for 9 months. One. Second one, I am giving this to that mother who practically went to the door of death and came back while giving birth to me. Second. Third, to that mother who spent sleepless nights when I was few days old, till I became few years old. Sacrificed everything. Everything means everything. Nowadays, people don't think, people lose the emotion or people, theoretically you know, that the mother loses everything for that. Because you were part of her body. She gives up that one part of her body to you. All kind of things are there in the mantras. Even if you were not respectful or devoted to your mother when she was alive, while doing Shraddha you feel, wow, what person she was for me. Similar goes to the father. What I am telling is that whatever karma we do, if you know the significance of karma, if you know the pros and cons of the karma, if you know how the karma is to be done so that I don't get bound by it. For example, there is a scissors. It was meant to cut the bondage, correct? But instead of using it to cut the bondage, you are using it to increase the bondage. It is the same thing. That the karma which we do, we have to do karma, it's compulsory. Nobody can be free from that. So what is the healthy attitude of doing karma? That healthy attitude is told here. Brahmani adhaya karmani sangam tyaktva karoti yaha. One who does karma, dedicating or offering that karma to the God, result of karma to the God. Two ways of doing karma. Karma you do, offering your fruits or result of your karma from bhakti point of view to your God. There is another way, it's called jnana way of doing karma. While doing karma you practice. Who is doing karma? I am doing karma. Body, mind does the karma. But scripture says I am neither the body nor the mind. I am the witness of that. These two different ways are there, which actually are the same, but two different ways are there of bhakti and jnana. So you dedicate your karma. You do your karma without any attachment. Sangam tyaktva. Sangam is attachment. Renouncing the attachment, one who does the karma, dedicating it to God. Lipyate na sapapena. He is not getting bound by this result of karma because he has done it with detachment. Padmapatram ivambasa. As the lotus leaf, born in the water, stays in the water, but water doesn't touch it. If you have seen it, lotus leaf, Singapore you don't have that much facility to see it, but you can go to the flower shops where the lotus are being sold and they tie the lotus with those leaf. Bring one leaf, put upside down, put water. Water like a pearl will move around and will not even stay there. This example is very old example in our scriptures. That is, that water is not able to penetrate and touch the lotus leaf. In the same way, the result of your action, the fruits of your action will not be touching you. You will be untouched by it if you do it with detachment. But mostly we cannot do with detachment. We become attached to it because we consider that as a truth. That which is temporary, that which is for time being. We all know that. Who doesn't know? But still, this feeling of I and mine, you become attached to others, you become attached to your own body. Anything happens to your body, people shiver. People are ready to spend any money for that. We all do to treat our body. And there are many ways to deal with the body. People do it. Same thing goes to the others. I and mine is not that you cannot look after, you should not look after. But when it comes with attachment, that attachment will give you a lot of pain in this life. Whenever we get any kind of pain or trouble, just with a very peaceful mind, think about it. It's not because you love the person. People immediately will say, because I love, that's why I get pain. No. Love never brings any pain. It is the attachment will give pain to you. Why? We all know. This also is true. People do not talk about it because its subject is a taboo. You don't discuss in public. But that is the only truth. When you are born, when you are going to school, whatever memory you remember when you are in class 3, 4, 5 and all that, did you know in future whom you are going to get married? No. Did you know that you will be staying in Singapore? No. Did you know that you will study this or that? No. One thing we knew, that whatever you do in your life, end of the life is certain. All of us are going to die one day. That is the only truth we know. In between anything, nothing is certain. In our childhood, we did not know anything whatever happened in our life. But one thing which definitely is going to happen is that we will have to leave this relative world. So we are here for a certain period of time. In that you get attached to this world. So much so that though we have information that when we go we can't take anything with us, still our attachment doesn't go. Sri Ramakrishna has a very A funny example he gives. A person was on the deathbed, but very miserly. So, so in the evening, oil lamp is burning. Here, his own life is going to be extinguished. But he says, reduce the lamp. Oil is burning more. Oil should not be burned. Oil should be saved. You are not able to save your own life. Attachment is not, attachment is giving more than the value, more than what it deserves. That is called attachment. Everything, everybody, everything in this world deserves value, deserves our attention. But because of our attachment, we give much more value to it than what the thing or a person deserves. So here, this idea is always told, as I was telling, if somebody asks me, what is Bhagavad Gita according to you? In one word, if I have to say, is detachment. Detachment is the watchword. Detachment is the essence of Bhagavad Gita. Yes, philosophy is there, but when you practicalize the philosophy, this comes. You have to do karma, but people forget and people do karma, do action with attachment, and then there is no end of suffering. So what is the result of my karma? I dedicate everything to God. Then what? What do I get out of it? Kayena manasa buddhya kevalai indriyairapi yoginah karma kurvanti sangam tyaktva atma shuddhaye. This atma shuddhaye is the word here to remember. By giving up attachment, when you do work with detachment, the yogis, who are the yogi? Yogis are those who have found the link between the work you do and the purification which happens because of that work. That link is called yoga. If it is an action, it's karma yoga. It is because of devotion, it's bhakti yoga. Because of knowledge, it's jnana yoga. Yoga means joining, yuj. Yuj is the root. From there, the word yoke has come to tag, to join. So, this yoga is connection. Connecting link is called yoga. People do hatha yoga. Why people do these asanas? These asanas becomes the link between your present state of health to your better state of health. That which connects these two is called yoga. So, here he says, Krishna says, Kayena manasa buddhya kevalai indriyairapi. By giving up attachment, the yogis undertake work merely through the body, mind and intellect and even the organs for the purification of themselves. Purification of what? Not purification of the body, purification of the mind. What is the purification of the mind? For that we must know what is impurities of the mind. Everything that is an obstacle for us to realize truth, to realize God, to realize the final truth, that is impurity. The impurity could be anything. That which stops us from concentrating your mind, that which you call because of that your mind is distracted, could be lust, could be anger, could be greed, could be any of your attitude or feelings towards the external world. That becomes the reason for our attachment. So, but then how to do this work? Of course with detachment. Yukta karma phalam tyaktva shantim apnodi nishtikim. Very, very profound truths are there in Bhagavad Gita. Many times people just chant Bhagavad Gita. It's good to chant, nothing wrong about it. But what's the meaning of chanting Bhagavad Gita if you don't understand it? That's why many times I feel one group should chant the Sanskrit shloka and another group should chant the meaning of the shloka. Rather, chanting the meaning of the shloka will be more beneficial than just chanting the Sanskrit shloka. Sanskrit shloka is very important to chant, but if it is done with understanding of the meaning, then it is more helpful. Otherwise, it is like your parrot and other birds at home learn what you teach them. Sri Ramakrishna gives this example. Somebody had a parrot, so taught Ram, Ram, Ram. The parrot also used to speak Ram, Ram. Sri Ramakrishna says, if the cat comes and catch hold of the parrot, Ram, Ram doesn't come out. Only ka, 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 ka will come out. So, we also, if you do without understanding, we think it is very helpful. Yes, it is helpful because it is scriptures and we should not disregard it. But it doesn't become helpful to you because you don't understand it. That's why meaning is very necessary to understand. Yuktaha karma phalam tyaktva shanti mapnoti naishtikim. Many people, we all want one thing in life eventually. You want peace of mind. Everything is there, but there is no peace of mind. Everything seems to be futile. And this peace comes from what? It is said here. Giving up the result of work, that means do with detachment, by dedicating the fruits of your action, by becoming resolute in faith. Faith in what? Faith in this principle that attachment gives me pain. So I have to be detached. When you be detached, one attains peace arising from steadfastness. The steadfastness towards your ideal, the more steadfast you are, the more this ideal will give you peace of mind. What is peace of mind? That mind which is not distracted. The natural state of mind should be the peace of mind. Our natural state of mind is like a boiling water, always jumping around, because we are attached. Ayuktaha kamakarena phale sakto nivadyate. One who is lacking in this faith, if the faith you don't have, or if you lack in faith, being attached to the result under the impulse of desires, becomes bound. So bondage is this, that the result of my action. You say, I do action for the result. How to give away the result? God is not the second person whom you give away. We should not be taking in objectively like that. I do work and I give it to God. No, God is not a person. God is not an agent. God also is within you only. Giving up means giving up attachment. Giving up attachment. When attachment is given up, there is no reason for you to suffer. This pen I have. What is the proof that I have attachment with this pen or I am detached? When the pen is lost, then my condition becomes pathetic because I can't live without it. Pen is an example. 1,000 things of the world are there. People have a natural tendency of attachment, even if you use it or not. Better to give my own example. I remember many years before, almost 25, 26 years before, when Swami came from some country, and so he brought a nice pen for me, a good pen like a Parker or some good quality pen. So I was very happy that he gave me a good pen. So I nicely kept in one cupboard. 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. Suddenly while opening the cupboard, I said the pen is lying in front of me. And this idea came in my mind. What am I doing? This pen is lying with me for 5 years. I'm not using it. Why I am not using it? If I use pen, will be spoiled because it's an ink pen. So I don't use it. You don't use it. You don't allow anybody to use it, but you want to hold on to it. No, this is not fair. I took out a door. Whichever the first suitable person will find, I will give. I came out from my room, went to my office. A young boy came. Swamiji, today is my exam. Oh, this is the right gift for you. Why? And then I was relieved. Wow, 5 years, it was something on my head. This is a small example. There are 1,001 things in our life. It need not be an objective thing. It could be a concept. It could be that we have hooked in many places. Another way of putting is, our peace of mind and our happiness, as if we have deposited with people, places, concepts, or whatever. And then I am begging back from you. And you hear this kind of statement. How many messages I sent? No reply. I love so much. He doesn't care, she doesn't care. As if my happiness is deposited with you. If you with all your mercy can give me little happiness, then only I am happy. No. My happiness should be with me, not with anybody else. And this happiness with me is called detachment. But that doesn't mean you don't keep relationship with people. Full love, concern, care, everything is there. But then there is no attachment in it, detachment. So he says here, very interesting, that if the work is done with detachment, then that peace of mind, the peace arises naturally. Peace is a natural state of mind. Water, in a normal state, it takes the temperature of the atmosphere, it takes the shape of its receptacle. When you boil the water, that high temperature is not the nature of water. When you bring the vessel down from the oven or a gas, boiling water, after 1 hour, 2 hours, it comes to the room temperature level. That is the natural state of water. In the same way, natural state of our mind is at peace, to be peaceful. But it's because of this push and pull, because of this attachment to the things. Attachment could be two types, positive and negative. Positive attachment is that you like it so much. Negative attachment is you hate it so much. Though, fortunately, most of the things of the world, you are neither attached or you hate it. It is there, it is there. You don't even observe the existence of the thing. But when your appreciation comes, appreciation is the first sign of attachment. When you go to a park, they have to write, please don't touch the flowers, please don't pluck the flowers. Why? It is a very natural tendency, the beautiful flowers, you immediately want to touch it. Don't touch it. You have to be taught. Why? Because our natural tendency is outgoing. So, natural state is peace. This attachment and aversion keeps the mind away from peace. If you want to achieve the peace, these two things you have to renounce. One is positive attachment, which is called attachment. Another is called negative attachment, which is called hatred, aversion. If this pen is there, do I hate it? No. Do I like it? Yes, I like it. Are you attached with it? Even if I say yes or no, the result will come when this pen will be lost, then you can see me how much anxious I am because of that. That shows that I had an attachment with this object. So, Again, attachment comes why? These are all practical, nothing that you do not know. You like a thing, you like a person, you like a concept, you like an object. Why do you like it? Because that concept, that person, that thing, that object is the source of happiness for you. The moment that doesn't remain a source of happiness, all your attachment evaporates like this. You love a person. Why do you love a person? Because he or she is a source of happiness for you. Same person, he or she ceases to be a source of happiness. Immediately, you want to live without that person or a thing or a concept. Attachment comes when you derive happiness from the object. Whichever object could be anything, as I told. Could be a person, could be a place, could be an object, could be a thing, whatever. So, if your happiness depends on the external objects, then you have to be attached. Because you want to derive happiness out of that. If you don't have intention of deriving happiness out of that, there is no necessary for you to be attached with the object. To deal with the object is not an issue. It is the attachment and aversion. These two are the issues. If that is not there, then mind is at peace. Take the simple example. Take the same simple example of ourselves. Think of a small child, that which is born. In normal state, if the child is healthy, unless there is body pain within, or if the child is hungry, or child is under some discomfort, there is no reason for the child to cry. Though not philosophical subject, maybe you people know, there is a universal language. A child is born, say which is 5, 6, 10 days old. How the child conveys to the mother, or how the child conveys to the nurse, doesn't know any language. So God has created a universal language. I'm not good in that, so I don't tell. You can find in internet. Mothers generally recognize that there are 5 types of cries of the children. You will find the pronunciation something like na, ah, that kind of cry. And every cry has a meaning. That it has soiled the clothes, one cry. Hungry, another cry. Pain in the body, another cry. This is a universal language. So, sorry to give an example, but if you have a pet in your house, a dog, the barking of the dog, we understand whether the dog is hungry or not, whether the dog is angry or not, or there is any discomfort. They don't speak our language. There is a universal language because of the sound. So here, we suffer because of these two. And whose suffering is more? People with strong likings and strong dislikes suffer a lot. Those who are, in Bengali there is a proverb called Dhori Mach Na Chui Pani. I catch fish but I don't want to touch water. So deal with everything, but there is no attachment with anything. The less attachment you have, the less suffering you have. The strong liking and strong disliking, these people suffer a lot. Then he says, Sarva karmani manasa sanyasya aste sukham vashi navadvare pure dehi naiva kurvan nakalayan. But if the person is detached For detachment, you have to do some practice. What practice is there? Practice of this self-control, practice of understanding the working of this world. There are some principles on which this world is working. Those who do not know, if they do, either they do something illegal, or they do something immoral, or they do something non-spiritual, because they don't know how it works. So more you are informed about spirit, that's why scriptural reading is required, that you come to know at least how the world works. World means not in material world we are talking, how our inner world, how our mind works, how this attachment, aversion works, how people suffer because of the same reason other person doesn't suffer, is because of that strong liking and disliking. So he says here again, Sarva karmani manasa sanyasya. This person, this self-control, Sri Krishna discusses in few places. In one place he says, at least some control. If you don't have full control over your senses, at least have some control. What is control? At least you understand that my mind is going astray. At least you know that I am doing something wrong. If you do something wrong, something within you should be able to tell you that no, this is not correct. You still do it because you are so much, how to say, you are so much attached to the thing. In spite of your knowing, you cannot give up. So here he says that this person of self-control, having given up all actions mentally, that means doing actions with detachment, continues happily in the town of 9 gates. Which is that town? This body. This body is always considered, that's why Singapore will say, P-O-R-E is one, it's called Pura. Pura means city. That's why we have a Jagannath Puri. Puri is a city. So this body is called Puram or Pura. What is this Pura? Why it is called Pura? In this body, you stay. You stay in this body. We have this philosophy or idea that when you say a person died, his body is being seen by people. Where he went? He was staying in this body and he leaves this body. Like this, we are sitting in this room, we all will go, switch off and go. Nobody is in this. In the same way, this body we stay. We are not this body, we stay in this body. How is this body? Called Navadvare Pure Dehi. This city has 9 gates. 9 gates means like eyes, 2 ears, nostrils. These are the gates to go inside the body. So, this person in the town of 9 gates, without doing or causing others to do anything at all, Navadvare Pure Dehi Naiva Kurvan Na Karayan. Neither he does anything nor he makes other to do anything. Atman doesn't have anything to do with your karma. It is this psychophysical body where we have identified ourselves, that is the root of all desires. Atman doesn't have any desire, but we, from when the ignorance started, we do not know. But it has an end. So this ignorance, this is a beautiful concept again, that avidya or the ignorance about ourselves is anadi. There is no beginning. We don't know when it started. But there is an end. What is the end? When you achieve this knowledge, the process of achieving knowledge is the detachment. When you achieve this knowledge, at that time, you understand that you stay in this body. Sri Ramakrishna gives this example. Think of a coconut. You have removed the outer skin, so there is a shell. If you don't break the shell, so water dries up inside, correct? And that coconut dries up, becomes smaller, and then you can make sound. That coconut inside is staying in the shell. Somewhere it is connected with the shell also. But that connection is just to be rested in the inner surface of the shell. It has no connection. It makes sound. Sri Ramakrishna gives this example for us to understand. As the dry coconut stays inside the coconut but is not connected with the shell at all. In the same way, person realizes that I stay in this body, but I have nothing to do with the body. The reactions or the expressions of the manifestation could be of many types. Could be the level of tolerance level, pain tolerance level, or to be detached with the whatever happens to the body. You should not be immediately tell them, oh, they don't have any connection with the body. No. But the attitude shows that I stay in this body will go one day, so I must take care. You stay in this building, so you take care and keep it clean. In the same way, you stay in this body, you maintain the body or you look after the body. But because of the body, because of the house, you spend so much money for the house which is supposed to protect you. We have talked sometimes. We have a small book, if you have ever find, please read it. It's called Vairagya Shatakam by King Bhartrihari. He wrote, and he gives such readings, such observations, that in one way you know it, but you do not know, because you do not want to see the world from that point of view. So there also he says that you stay in this body, you look after the body, but what happened? Because of the body you became more busy. For example, we all wear shoes, footwear. What is the use of the footwear? To protect our feet. So if there is a situation where either your footwear will be harmed or your feet will be harmed, which you will like to select? Definitely footwear. But it doesn't happen so. People become so much attached to the footwear. These are all silly practices people do. People are ready to go barefooted in that area because my shoes will be spoiled. This is just an example I am telling. We have one scripture called Tattva Bodha. Very interestingly it says, what happens, for example, what happens if this future, many of you have a maid servant at home. Think that maid servant's house in Philippines, Indonesia, wherever, there she has a maid servant. And that maid servant has a maid servant in her house, for example. What happens when you become the maid servant of that maid servant? This is an example given. He is my servant. My servant has a servant. He has a servant. And then I became my servant of the servant of the servant. Compared to this body, it says, you have nothing to do with the body. The indriya, the senses, the mind and the body, they are supposed to be servant of each other. This gross body is the last servant, the latest servant. It is controlled by the mind. Then mind has a boss, which is called intellect. And you are the boss of that intellect. But look at our Maya, that we become servant of the body. Body is a servant of, my servant is my intellect. Intellect servant is mind. Mind servant is the senses. Senses servant is the body. But I became the servant of my body. The way of expression. That if you know, then you will not like to be that. Will you like to be the maid servant of your maid servant's maid servant? No. Then why you are becoming maid servant of this body, which is your servant? So idea is that how this world is made with your body as a part of this world, other things, other people as part of the world. What is our relation? Liking, disliking, hatred, anger, lust, whichever way. There are different 6 ways of hooks with which we get entangled with the things of the world. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Matsara and Mada and Matsarya. 6 ways of hooks by which we establish relationship with this objective world. Not only the persons, anything of the world. Either lust, you become attached because of lust. Either anger, negative attachment. Either moha, delusion. Either your matsarya is something, a hook which is closer to anger but little different. It's called jealousy. I don't like you because I am jealous of you. Not that I don't like you as I hate you. No, I don't hate you, but I don't like you because you have more resources than me. So I am jealous of you. These are few things which we are born with. We have a kind of pride for everything. Oh, I am richer than you. Oh, I am taller than you. Oh, you know which family I belong to. Oh, I am a Brahmin, you are not a Brahmin. Any kind of thing could be there. And we become proud of it. Swami Vivekananda says in one place, one who will remember death will understand my teachings better. For example, I became very proud. You know what I am? Then I remember, when I will die, nothing will remain. Neither that I am a Brahmin, nor that I am a monk. Nothing is going to last. So why should I should be proud of the things which are short-lived? So be proud of something which are long-lived. What is that pride? It is not a pride, but it is converted into devotion. I am a servant of God. You are happy to say that, but there is nothing to be negative pride about it. So, when a person is detached, this detachment will come everywhere. When the person is detached means what? You are not affected by any kind of results. We are affected. It is impossible for us not to be affected. But that effect which comes on you will not have a long-standing or a long-lasting effect on you. You cannot be free from. If you are in the world, you have your loved ones. When the loved ones will die, pain is inevitable. Or if you don't feel pain, it is something strange. But that feeling pain have to be translated into knowledge. That even he who was so wise, even if he who was so strong, even he who was so important, also have to go one day. So you're being affected by anything in this world, we should have that mechanism and wisdom to the onslaught of effects of the external world on us should be translated into wisdom. That wisdom will eventually help you to build yourself spiritually and make you stronger. So idea is this, that Bhagavad Gita is nothing but it's a kind of toolkit to lead spiritual life. But as we say many times, scriptures will not tell you what you should do. Scriptures will not tell you what you should eat, how much you should eat. Scripture have no say about that because it depends on your body. But scripture will say that that which is harmful to you, you don't take. Now, what is harmful? It's very difficult to say. Many things are there which are harmful for everyone. Many things are there which are harmful, but if you require that, it is not harmful. How? We have so many chemicals in our body. Deficiency of those makes our body sick. But the excessive amount of that also makes you sick. So if you have a sodium deficiency and doctor prescribe an injection to you, it is helpful to you. But if I don't have deficiency of sodium and if I take the injection, the more sodium in the body is harmful to me. So nothing is same for everybody. We have to understand that. So we think about ourselves, that which is harmful to us, even sattva, rajas, tamas, and there is a big concept, we don't bring into it. Other day in one of the meetings, this question was asked that Hinduism is very unique religion. Hinduism is very unique. There is no totally black or totally white. There is a lot of grey. You decide, you select, you consider what is more food, what is big quantity of food. Difficult to say. Maybe 2 chapatis is enough for me. Maybe 5 chapatis are enough for you. Maybe 10 chapatis for a soldier. Maybe 15 chapatis for a player. We do not know. So scriptures will not tell you, oh, every day take 2 chapatis. No, scripture doesn't say that. Scripture will say, take moderate food. What is moderate, you decide. For example, I just leave you here. Even which food is vegetarian, which food is non-vegetarian, you decide. You decide. How to decide vegetarian is a vegetarian, non-vegetarian, non-veg. No, it is not so. Many things which you consider pure vegetarian is a non-veg food. But you very well consider it a vegetarian and enjoy and tell that I take only vegetarian. So I many times I will write a small article and give the QR code for people to go and see that video. For example, you take yogurt. Is it vegetarian or non-veg? Unless bacteria are full, which are living beings, milk doesn't become yogurt. Your idli is a vegetarian or non-veg? It is vegetarian, but unless it is fermented, that means bacteria increase. So you go to YouTube, because you get everything nowadays, just say yogurt under microscope and you can say things are moving like this. How to say it is vegetarian? A lot of living beings are there. Actually speaking, this, after talking and thinking and all that, I have come to this conclusion. Give me one item, any one item, which you consume as food, which doesn't have life. One item you tell me. Can you eat this pen? No. Can you eat this specs? No. Whatever you eat as food, everything has life. You can't show me one thing which you eat and it doesn't have a life. Why? We continue our life because somebody is contributing the life to us. How to contribute? We didn't bring 100 years with us. You keep on taking food and that gives life to our body. You stop taking food, you slowly die. Whenever you take food, it is nothing but life contributes in. Plants also has a life. Your grains also have life. Your fruits also have life. Everything is a life. Even if you take vegetarian, what you call vegetable products, all have life. You cannot take any grain which doesn't have life. You can't take a handful of sand and eat. No. You have to eat something which came from life. So, these concepts are built concepts. I still don't understand how milk can be a vegetarian food, which comes directly from the animal body. Correct? But we consider, whatever you consider vegetarian. There are many people you go in Bengal, oh, egg is vegetarian. And little funny, but I remember in a state of Gujarat, people don't take even egg. So, many years before, we found there is a stamp on the egg called vegetarian egg. What is vegetarian? There is an unfertilized egg. There is no life inside. So it is as good as vegetarian, as good as a potato or any other things. So that people are slowly taught. You take, you don't take is your choice. Nobody forces you to take. But don't unnecessarily tell that this is non-veg. If it is not non-veg, it is not non-veg. Non-veg is what? Where there is life, we consider that as a non-veg. But all these things as a life. But still we consider it as a vegetarian. So Hinduism gives all kind of freedom to you. You see, those who are pure vegetarian Vaishnavas are Hindus. Those who are practically eat all non-veg food, Shaktas also are Hindus. Still, those who are extreme sadhanas they do, those Kapalikas also are Hindus. It has nothing to do with religion. That's why Swami Vivekananda says in one place that our religion has entered into the cooking pot. Whether left hand or right hand, whether this food or that food, has nothing to do with religion. Religion lies with concept of detachment. If you are detached, you could be more spiritual. You are attached, you could be more non-spiritual. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.